As you might know, India has one of the largest hungry populations for any country in this world. The size of India's hungry population has been often compared to the whole population of some of the Scandinavian countries, for example. Uh, what is required to address the question of hunger in India? I think there are two levels at which you need to address the question of hunger. One is at the level of production, and the second is at the level of distribution. In India, from the 1960s onwards, you have this program of intensive agricultural development, which later came to be called as the Green Revolution and so on, where you placed a lot of emphasis on the cultivation of food grain crops and increasing their productivity and production. And this received a lot of public institutional support as well. So this was not simply a technological project, it was also a project which had a lot of public institutional support in terms of price support price, procurement price and so on, in terms of subsidy support for fertilizers, seeds, pesticides, in terms of credit support. Nationalization of banks in 1969 was a very important step in this regard. And marketing support, the APMC acts which were passed, the regulated markets which were established in order to shift the balance of power in favor of the farmer as against the trader, the itinerant trader in the villages as it was at that point of time. So over a period of time, by the early 90s, when you achieved food self-sufficiency in production, it was actually a combination of efforts in the technological sphere, because a lot of public agricultural research was done in the development of high-yielding varieties, and complemented by public institutional support measures like in price, subsidy, credit, marketing, and so on. Even as you achieved successes in production in achieving self-sufficiency, you did not sort of translate that. You were unable to translate that in distributing that production into different sections of the population. You had a public distribution system which was there till from 1965 onwards. Its successes were patchy, its spread was not adequate, while in some cases like Kerala or some parts of Tamil Nadu it worked well, it did not work well in large parts of other parts of the country. So what you required at that point of time in the early 90s was actually an intensification of efforts to strengthen and expand the public distribution system, so that the benefits of increases in production and self-sufficiency therein could actually be translated into distribution, successes in distribution, and thus improving the share of well-nourished people in the population and so on. There we lost out a lot. Instead of expanding the PDS at that point of time, our effort actually went into weakening the PDS in a significant way. In 1997, we moved from a universal public distribution system to a targeted public distribution system, where you ended up excluding large numbers of needy, hungry people from the ambit of the PDS and left them at lurch with respect to availability of nutritious food, even though PDS only gave them just cereals. Even that was denied to a large section of the population. So the movement from universalism to targeting in terms of food distribution is one of the most important reasons for the persistence of hunger in our country today, because we have lakhs of tons of food grades which are rotting in public godowns of the Food Corporation of India, where rats eat them a lot. It serves to alleviate their hunger, but not the hunger of human beings. That's the unfortunate reality in which we live today. PDS is not the only answer to the question of hunger and malnourishment, because there are also a large number of social determinants of poor nourishment and absence of adequate intake of nutritious food. So we also need a multi-pronged approach, centered of course on the PDS, but also in educating people on the importance of better diets, making it available to them. For instance, one of the policies that is being spoken about is whether you can add a large number of core cereals like jowar, maize and so on into the public distribution system along with the rice and wheat, so that the nutritional component of the subsidized delivery of food can be improved significantly. So it's not just about PDS. While PDS is an important part, you need to attack it at different levels. Only then you can take firm steps towards alleviating hunger in India.